Hello, it's your friendly neighbourhood Rob here, and you're joining me for parts bag B of my new Tamiya Ford Bronco CC02 chassis, very graciously donated by the RC Junkie. So, parts bag B is steps 8 to 17, so I might split this up into two videos, I don't know yet. But let's get started with attaching the battery case to this part of the chassis. And there's a note here that says remove the mould tree things, so I've already done that, and I've already placed the screws into their positions, and you should make a note of where they go, because it looks like you can have it in 3 different positions depending on whether you want a short chassis, medium or long. So let's get straight into it, and they just go in the middle ones, if I can get it in, and I'll just start to screw it up. We've then got this part here which is E4, which screws in like that. So again, we'll just start them off, and then there's this bit here with a note that says use if battery size requires it. So I don't know, so I'm just going to slap it in anyway for now, and it basically goes across there with some screws, a ball joint and a spacer. It's not going on this time. Oh, there we go. And that just goes in there. And then the other side is this MB10 mount screw, they're calling it, and that just goes in there. Like that. So I'll carry on and tighten all them up and be back to you shortly. Step 9 is attaching the main frame according to Tamiya, but I prefer to call them the chassis rails. So I'm just going to have a quick test. Again, these are orientated, you can't swap them, so I'm just going to try and work out exactly how they go, because I ain't not too sure. Yes, that does go on the top. Okay, so let's get cracking. First of all, we've got lots of nuts to slide in to the chassis. Right, so that's all the nuts in the chassis, but then we've got 2 that again Tamiya are telling you to glue in, so I've got me sticky grease and I'm popping them in like that. And then it's just a case of attaching it. So as I say, line it up again if you can, something like so. Oh, and then you lose some of your nuts for half an hour. Right, so we've got, should be a screw there. There we go. And another one here. Both self tappers, 12 mils, and then a machine screw that goes through this hole here and into the rear of those nuts, and the same for the other side. So I'll crack on because I've lost two of my nuts for half an hour and see how we get on. Okay, so here's the chassis partially built up, and I'm not going to spin it round for you because these nuts will come tumbling out. So there we go, we can move on to step 10, and step 10 is the front subframe and metal bits. So this is basically the servo holder as well, and yet again they're telling you to glue in, but nah. Right, so what I've been doing is taking C3 and popping the nut in, and it's quite a tight fit so it stays in, and then C12 and C11 you do have to get the orientation right, and then we pop this in, and it's the third hole from the front. That's the front, well it is as far as I'm concerned. So we pop that through, and then we take, what is it, C3, and we can pop that in like that and then tighten it up. There we go. And then, as I say, where is it? It goes in there, doesn't it? Yeah, you twonk. So we pop the nut in there. We then pop this on like that. There we go. And then the screw in again. Like so. Tighten it up. But then there is a note here to do attach F5 as shown to allow upright servo position. Now I can see what they're on about, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see when we come to put the servo in, because that looks like a standard servo, so I don't know what they're going on about. So hopefully we will find out in a bit. So I'll get the bits ready and we can hopefully move on to step 11. Okay, so step 11 is installing the front subframe, and we are going to need spring washers. Now I've not seen them in many a time, but anyway we will just crack on. I think it's a shame that nothing ever seems to lie flat. Sorry, but I'm concentrating trying to get, that's it. So that slides all the way to the end there. Then we need the 12mm machine screws and the spring washer. And I believe that screws in the back there. And then the 8mm machine screw goes through there. I can see why they're telling you to glue that other nut in, but hey, the grease held it in enough, So we can screw them up. And continue on the other side before we move on to step 12. Step 12 and 13 I'm going to do in one go because it's all to do with the rear cross member and rear subframe. So we'll get into it, and again we've got left and right C11s, and once again we've got to drop these nuts in. And then again we need to pop C11 in there and pop a screw in, and the same the other side. Right, so step 13, we've got more metal bits, and as you see at the top here it tells you to basically glue these C3s in, but yeah, I'm going to stick with me sticky stuff, and then we put them on there like so, and then we get the thing from part 12 and it tells you to note direction, and we have to somehow try and get that on in the right position and put the screws through. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So once again I'll tighten these up and we can swiftly move on. Right, step 14 is installing the gearbox into the chassis, and there's some notes here about caution stickers, but hey, it's my vehicle and I'm not going to put them on. So we grab hold of the gearbox, and I think it's a bit fiddly to get in, and it just slips straight in this time, and we have to install the screws. Okay, so this one here goes, that's too long for that. I got this the wrong way round. Oh yes, I've got it the wrong way round. You donkey. Right. Let's have another go, eh? Right, there's one. So yeah, it is that one. There we go. Useless bloke, useless. And then t'other one, I am assuming from looking at this, is that one there. For the longer 25mm screws, and then these other two probably look like they go in there. Whoops. And that one there. So, tighten them up and we'll be ready for step 15. Step 15 is making up the prop shafts, and we need these cross joints and we need to push them in and try and line up the other end with the hole there, and then get some long nose pliers to bend, and it snaps in almost, ow, and then you just locate it, and there we go. And we do the same with the other connector, and then there we go, and something similar, press it home, and then we need to make up two of them. I've done the other one and put it together, so I'll just finish this one off and we can get on to step 16, which I think might be the last step of parts bag C, but I don't know, I could be wrong. And step 16 is to attach the toothed end of the prop shaft, so we pop that on, and then we get one of these screw pins, as they're calling them, which is a grub screw, and we slot it through and screw that in, and I'm assuming we screw it all the way till it's level with the plastic. So we'll pop that one on, and again screw that in. So I'll get on and do them, and we can go to the actual last step. Okay, step 17, the last step of parts bag B, is attaching the arm pivots. I'm assuming it's something to do with 4-link suspension. Not that I've got that much of an idea, but hey. Right, so we need to check things, so that's got to be B on this side, and it goes there, and this one is Dubry-Firking. Wow, that was confusing. So they go there. We've then got this other part, F8, which screws onto there. So we've got 12mm machine screws for some reason. Two for each side of these, like so, and one in there, and then one for this side and one for this side. So I'll get on with them and show you what's what once I've finished. And here we have a partially built chassis, I suppose, with the gearbox all installed and ready. And I'm showing you the underside here, aren't I? Because it's got whatchamacallit, front and rear prop shafts ready to go. And there's the top, and we can put it on its side, can't we? So with that, I hope you've enjoyed this episode and look forward to seeing you for parts bag C. Thanks for watching. Bye.